Hello everybody, welcome back. This is going to be a little bit different because it is just me. I have kicked Sara off the channel. I am just kidding. That is an early April Fool's joke. She's actually working right now. She might come back for part 2 of the video, but it's just going to be me because I want to go over a little bit of the Arsenal game. And then it's about an hour before the Chelsea game is going to happen against Man City. And then after that game happens, Sara and I will be back and record after that game. There'll be kind of 2 parts of this video because I wanted to talk about the Arsenal game that happened yesterday because it wasn't good. And I will say it's going to be an uphill battle if they are going to move on. There is 2 legs of this Champions League. There's going to be 2 legs of the championship quarters, and leg 1 was obviously in Spain, and then leg 2 will be back at Emirates. And they're down by 2 goals. Now, can they come back? Is it impossible? Absolutely not. They could definitely come back. Home field advantage when they get back to the UK will be massive. It's definitely possible. But first and foremost, the first thing that came out when the lineup came out yesterday was we saw DVD was still out. I believe with concussion protocol, but she was still out and Manuela Zinsberger was in. We know DVD is #1 goalie now, and people have a lot of faith in her and know how amazing she is. But Manuela is still historically a great goalkeeper, and I think people were nervous because big games like this, you want your #1. But also, a lot of people were kind of baffled by the lineup. They thought Foord should have started. They thought Stina Blackstenius maybe shouldn't have started. There's a lot of questions in that, and a lot of people are talking about this is showing Renée as a manager, kind of her inexperience to some people. We'll read some comments at the end, but people were saying, was this the best lineup for this such an important game? The first thing people also noticed was the pitch. Again, did not look good. We're going to read comments at the end. Even Ian Wright talked about it, but the pitch just it looked substandard. It almost looked like it looked bad. It almost looked like there was spray paint on the pitch to make it look greener, but to kind of cover up how bad it looked. But we're going to read a comment saying, hey, there's been storms in Spain, there's been storms in Madrid, and it normally doesn't look that bad, but it just happened to look really bad this game. And also, we remember the Chelsea versus Man City game for the Subway Cup looked atrocious. So that was another thing. I mean, I guess I'll get right to the goal in the 22nd minute. The superstar herself, Linda Caicedo, scored a beautiful goal. And a lot of people are saying this goal looked kind of like an oopsie from Leah Williamson. There's a lot of things there's a couple things that led up to that goal. Kyra Cooney-Cross kind of passed it. Had kind of a bum pass, and then Real Madrid came up the field, and it looks like Leah Williamson just misjudged that ball. It looked like she kind of got it on the side of her foot, and then she just lost the ball. Linda Caicedo right there and took advantage of that and scored a goal, beautiful goal. And a lot of people are saying that was an oopsie from Leah Williamson. And then some people are saying because the pitch was so atrocious, and it looked like there was a little patch right there where the pitch was kind of looked like divots in the pitch. People said, hey, that pitch condition, you can't blame Leah because it just looked bad. The pitch looked bad, and her foot might have gotten stuck. So that was definitely a ball that probably shouldn't have been a goal, but that was the first goal and they were already down. I guess I'm going to skip to the second goal, but the second goal, again, defense did not look great. In the 81st minute, Real Madrid scored again, and the defense kind of looked out of shape. It didn't look like great communication. But I will say, Manuela Zinsberger got a glove on that ball. I think a lot of people are saying if DVD were in goal, she would have saved that ball. It wasn't the hardest struck ball. It wasn't in the craziest position, but a lot of people said Manuela should have kept Arsenal in the game with a save and save that ball. Because I think DVD would have. Now, would she have? Would she not have? We don't know. But that was the final score, 2-0 Real Madrid. And a lot of people say, like, historically, if you think about Real Madrid, are they going to beat Arsenal in the quarterfinals of the Champions League? Historically, people said, oh, absolutely not. Real Madrid can't beat them. But this is the reality now. very close to moving on. And, you know, a lot of Arsenal fans are worried. A lot of Arsenal fans are worried. You know, a lot of Arsenal fans said it's kind of over, even though it's not. But, you know, Arsenal say they win by 2-0 and then they go to PKs or they win by 3. I mean, it's definitely still possible. And a lot of people are just talking about the lineup and Renée. And one person that we haven't seen, I don't know the last time we saw her, or she has not been playing, is Rosa Kafaji. And a lot of people saying this is a young talent with so much talent and so much promise, but she's not being given a chance. She actually put something on her Instagram that was kind of telling. I don't know if a lot of people saw this. I mean, it's been on Twitter and TikTok and everything, but she put a black screen and it had yawning and sleeping emojis. I'll put it on the screen here, but a lot of people are saying, oh, is that her saying she's upset? Is that a lot of people saying her like, oh, if I got in, I would do better? I mean, a lot of people are saying, what does that mean? And then a lot of people think, oh, she might have done it by accident. Like she was trying to do it to her private Insta story and she did it to her public one. She deleted it very quickly. But people are like, she doesn't look happy. She wants playing time. But then, of course, when you're a young player who doesn't get playing time, of course you're going to want playing time. I don't think there's anything new about that. But I think she was trying to make it, I think her, you know, maybe her friends and family know that she wants to play. She wants to get out there. And maybe that's the thing Renée Slegers should be doing, is putting her out there. Because a lot of people brought up the comparison to Kyra Cooney-Cross, that she was on the bench a lot of last season. And then this year she has been starting most of the games, playing most every game. So, you know, young players will get that opportunity, but maybe it's just not quite her time. But sub management, people are kind of questioning Renée about this game. I think we're going to read comments all at the end when Sara comes back. But what does everyone think? Who thinks they can come back? Who thinks that they're over? And also, if they come back and win, do you think that there's any chance they're going to beat Lyon? Do you think there's any chance they're going to beat Chelsea? Do you think there's any chance they're going to beat Barcelona? I think that's a question. Even if they squeak by playing like they did yesterday, was there any chance? Now, people still might say the pitch was a problem. When they get back to Emirates, the pitch won't look like that. So that was just not a good pitch. And it was raining. Everyone looked so dirty. Apparently, it's been storming there. So is that going to be a problem too? I'm sure this is an awkward transition to this segment, but I have a special guest with me. Sara's back.
Are you reading from a script? Yes, she did not kick me out of this. She did not kick me out of this portion of the video. She allowed me to, be here.
Well, I made a joke at the beginning of the video saying I kicked you off. So I hope if you end up watching the video, I'm sorry about that. We're going to read some comments from the Arsenal game. Sara and I just got done watching the Chelsea Man City game. We're going to talk about that in a second. But let's read a couple comments from the Arsenal game. I don't think there's going to be any order to these comments. This is what I screen capped. But this one is the first one I see is it says Zinsberger should have kept us in that game. The same person says, please rest Foxy this weekend. She's gassed. And then someone underneath that says, second goal should have been easily denied. We need DVD for a second leg. I didn't see too many people. I know the blame game, blaming Manu, but I was thinking this even when I was recording that last part. You can maybe lose on defense, but you're not going to win if your team doesn't score any goals either. So
that's a good point.
Yeah. So they didn't even score a goal. Now the argument could be, well, she needed to keep them more in the game. Maybe just maybe for the second leg be 1 down instead of 2. Next comment. Oh, and this is about the pitch.
The pitch is horrendous. You wouldn't see the men play on a pitch like that. It's so dangerous for our players.
Yeah, and I actually saw a video on TikTok where Katie McCabe was in warm-ups, and she looked down at the pitch and was like shaking her head like, no, no, no. Actually, I did see this comment too.
This comment says, the pitch is bad, yes, but it's because of the weather the last 3 weeks in Madrid was terrible. I watched Real Madrid from 3 years, but this year's the first time I see it like that, even with the weather like this.
So yeah, someone says, they've been there a lot and this is kind of the worst it's been, maybe because of the weather. And then not to say this is factual, but I have seen a few people make this argument as well.
Make no mistake, Williamson was the key to this defeat, responsible for both goals. The first, childlike failure to cut out a simple ball. The second, failing to close down space. This has happened many times this season. Nowhere near the player she was before her injury. Even her hyped long ball ability is now rarely accurate.
Okay, so that was kind of a harsher comment than I had necessarily seen, but I saw a few people make that point that they thought Leah Williamson was not her best last night. And then people also, along with Leah, a lot of people are saying this loss is the manager man, saying wrong subs, wrong starting lineup. A lot of people are saying Renée showed her kind of inexperience. And some person here says, next game start Foord, easily the best Arsenal player on the pitch this game, but everyone else was tired. Everyone else was tired and uninspired. Someone goes, I just can't fathom how our defenders allowed that second goal. It's frustrating. Yeah, so there was a lot of miscommunication. That second goal probably should have been saved either by Manuela or the defenders. But fun game. They can come back. I could see it. But we're going to transition into the Man City Chelsea game that we just watched, because now Arsenal have to come back from 2 down from Real Madrid. But not just Arsenal, Chelsea in stunning fashion are now going to have to come back from 2 down, because Man City had a huge, stunning defeat of Chelsea, 2-0, first defeat of the season. Sara and I pretty much watched the whole game. I mean, people were, I don't want to say stunned, but people were, we're going to read comments, they kind of liked, I think, kind of like seeing the Giants go down. You know what I mean?
Of course. Yeah, of course.
So I think a lot of people were rooting for Man City, and kind of in good fun. You know, some people actually don't like Chelsea, but some people are like, we don't want to see them always win. We don't want to see them go 4 for 4. But huge game. Not just huge game, huge VIVIANNE Miedema game. Scored 2 incredible goals, and she didn't even start this game. When I first saw the lineup, a few things were notable. Viv did not start. Also, Bunny Shaw, I believe, is injured, but Viv was not starting. I believe she is on, they're managing her minutes, but she didn't start. So first and foremost, not seeing her start, but you kind of like that, because if she comes in at some point, she'll be fresh. She'll be ready to go. Man City looked really good. They looked good from the start. It was at home. They were ready, as we remember from the Subway Cup. Devastating loss to Chelsea. And I think they really said, if we're going to, we have to win this game, and we are really fighting for this game. Because you go down for the second leg and go to Stamford Bridge. That would be tough. It's still going to be tough for Man City, don't get me wrong, but it was a fun game to watch. I think you made a comment. The Man City goalie at the first half, she was saving everything.
Every time I looked up, she was on the ground with the ball.
Yeah, she did great. It was just an exciting game. A lot of shots. But halftime, that is when VIVIANNE Miedema came into the game. But I guess I'll go right to the goal. In the 59th minute, Viv all by herself on that back post. It kind of ricochets. Hannah Hampton made to save, and then the ball kind of came toward Viv. She put it right in the back of the net on her left foot, kind of in an awkward angle, but it was there. She put it right in. The commentators said themselves, there was a feeling like Man City was going to score, and they did. Beautiful goal. That was in the 59th minute. Then, and it was pretty touch and go. Then Myra Ramirez had an offsides goal. 79th minute, Kaneryd came so close to hit the crossbar. Even the commentator said it should have been 1-1. And then in the 84th minute, it was really close for Chelsea. Then in the 87th minute, Viv puts it away. Viv makes a really crafty, Viv is so good. A goal like this doesn't look as tricky as the commentators basically said it was. They said the way Viv gets the ball around the defender, she makes it look easy when it's very tricky and not easy at all. But she puts it right in the back of the net. It wasn't a hard strike, but they said that's what made it so beautiful. It was, she let the ball do all the work, but so happy for her. I even think I saw a tiny little celly there, maybe the tiniest of one.
Viv doing a celly?
Yeah, I know.
Interesting.
Her teammates were so excited. And that was the final score, 2-0. Man City definitely deserved it. So hyped, so excited. But Chelsea, they're going to be at home next for the second half of the quarters. And if any team can come back, it's Chelsea. We do know that. But Man City are hungry. But I'll read some comments because, like I said, some people, in good fun, they're saying things like this. I'll have Sara read this.
This comment says, nice to know that Chelsea is still human. Yeah, good to know they're not robots.
That'd be kind of cool, though. And then people were saying, hey, not going to lie, this shocked me. Good win for City. Then someone goes, completely unexpected and completely deserved. Yeah, Man City just looked hungry, and they never let up. They knew that they could win this. And like I said, after the Subway Cup, they're thinking, we're going to win this. Then someone goes, well done, City. So deserved. The best team won. And then someone goes, Miedema GOAT. And then Chelsea fans also, as much as they lost, someone goes,
a little acknowledgement that this is our first loss. Well done, girls. Rest and back at it again.
And then someone goes, Chelsea wasn't Chelseaing tonight, but it's all right. It's only halftime. So Chelsea, so they know they have to win by 3 now. 3. And Man City 0. I think that's the way it would work out. But if any team can do it, Chelsea can. And some people have said something like this. The team hasn't looked spectacular for the last few months. They keep winning. They find a way to win. That's what makes Chelsea Chelsea. But someone like this is pointing out,
the team's collective performance has been terrible for some time now, especially the attack. Macario gets tangled up in the ball a lot, and James often falls asleep on the field.
And then someone goes, shameful performance. Forwards made 0 effort to score the first 70 minutes. Sloppy mistakes. Every single player needs a wake-up call if they want to play in the semis.
And someone makes the point, we've played like that the whole season, just that we were always lucky to get away with a win or draw.
Yeah, and that's the point where people said, hey, they always find a way to win. That's the Chelsea way. Maybe that's the Sonia Bonpastor way to win. But someone said, hey, maybe that kind of finally caught up with them where they weren't razzle-dazzling people, but they were winning. But maybe they need to bring on the razzle-dazzle. And then someone says,
saw this coming. We've been struggling to score in some games lately, but we managed to get a draw or win with a poor performance somehow. Heartbreaking defeat.
Yeah, and like we said, some of the games against Crystal Palace, they won by 1. I think by Everton, they won by 1. So I don't think this was shocking, but I do think people still expected Chelsea to win. But Man City, I mean, if they go on and they defeat Man City, if they defeat Chelsea to go into the semis, that will be kind of stunning, kind of shocking, because remember, Man City is also the team that beat Barcelona. I did see people critiquing Sonia Bonpastor. People were like, Sonia should quit the team, she should retire because of performance like this. You lose 1 and oh my goodness. And then we'll leave on this comment.
That was tragic. Sloppy passes, overplaying the ball. Oh, and did you all forget to mark your player? Way too much leeway for Man City. Chelsea, let's go. Chelsea, let's get to 100%.
Yeah, for people who make the point, they weren't marking Viv at all in the back, and she's lethal. That was kind of crazy if you ask most people who watch the game. That was definitely a big mistake. But what does everyone think now? Oh.
I like this comment. I don't deserve to go to bed with this kind of mood.
The game was on late too, so yeah, people are not happy. Chelsea fans, Man City fans, I don't think we read any of their comments, but they are so happy, and they know that they can do it. They know that they can win. Also, league game on the weekend, so that's not going to be Champions League. It's just going to be regular WSL League on Sunday. What do you do? Do you rest the players for the next Champions League game? Do you kind of not try to go for it? Because the second half will be next Thursday, I think. So what do you do there? Do you just kind of rest people that you really want for the Champions League? I would suspect Man City would be more prone to rest players. However, Man City is still trying to get into Champions League for next season. So there's a lot on the line. Chelsea probably will win the WSL League no matter what. So we will see what happens. Questions, comments down below. What did everyone think? Arsenal. There was other games. Barcelona beat Wolfsburg and Lyon beat Bayern Munich. We're not following those teams as much, but it's gonna be fun. It's gonna be a fun see what happens the rest of the quarter, see what happens going into semis, but very exciting. Questions, comments down below. We'll talk to everyone later. Have a great night. Bye.